We just landed in North Florida Beaches, Florida in a brand new Generation 2 Plus Vision Jet. Come along in this video and I'll show you how we got here. Thanks for watching.
Good morning, departure Vision Jet 379, Juliet Mike 1.5 for 3,000 and the turn to 090.
379 Juliet Mike, turn right heading 140.
Right turn 140, 9 Juliet Mike.
379 Juliet Mike, turn right heading 180.
Right turn 180, 9 Juliet Mike. Let's take off runway 19, 379 Juliet Mike. Hey everybody, hope you're doing well. Thanks a lot for coming along on today's video. And in this video, I'm departed Music City Executive Airport on our way to North Florida Beaches Airport in Panama City. Right now empty, just me in the plane, and we're just flying along here at flight level 310. We are doing something different today than usual, and that I am flying a client's jet. It's a brand new Generation 2 Plus Vision Jet. It's got custom exterior and interior. Beautiful airplane, and again, I'm empty now and heading down to North Florida Beaches Airport or Panama City to pick up the client and bring them back to the Nashville area this afternoon. So unfortunately I won't be able to film the flight with the passengers on board, but I want to take this opportunity to cover a few things. So the first thing I wanted to talk about was the necessity as a pilot in command to obtain all critical information related to the safe outcome of every single flight. So ahead of a flight, it is the pilot's responsibility to go out and determine, collect, and process all information that is related to the outcome of the flight. And of course, weather conditions and so forth are all part of that. So there are regulatory requirements for pilots to obtain all this information and have this information readily available for their flight. And part of the pre-flight process that is used by many pilots is the 3P process.
6 Sierra Foxtrot, contact Atlanta Center 128.72.
28.72, 6 Sierra Foxtrot, have a great one. Atlanta Center, Vision Jet 226 Sierra Foxtrot, flight level 310.
November 226 Sierra Foxtrot, Atlanta Center, roger, no complaints.
Roger. All right, so yeah, the 3P process. This is where we determine any hazards that might be affecting the flight, and then take action according to what we've determined. So the 3P process is, of course, to perceive. You want to perceive any potential hazards, and you use a PAVE checklist, P-A-V-E, pilot, aircraft, environmental conditions, and of course, external factors to determine if there's any issues related to those factors for the flight. And then once you've determined that there are potential hazards, you need to process those, right? So the second P means process, and you're going to process those with CARE, the acronym CARE, C-A-R-E, consequences, alternatives, reality of the situation, and any external factors that might be causing you some bias in your decision making. Now the CARE checklist gives you some degree of value on any of the hazards that you might have determined when doing the PAVE checklist, right? So say for instance, the pilot is fatigued. He's had a long duty day. He or she is fatigued, and they have a night flight to end the day, and that is that's a potential hazard. So then, of course, you take that hazard, move down to the CARE checklist, and you look at consequences, alternatives, reality of the situation, and external factors, and you determine the weight or substantial nature of that particular risk, right? And then now that you've got that information, you move to the third P, and the third P is you need to perform, right? The pilot needs to perform according to the TEAM checklist, T-E-A-M, right? Where we look at either transferring the risk, eliminating the risk, accepting the risk, or mitigating the risk, okay? So one way to mitigate the risk, for example, we've determined the pilot might be fatigued, and we've determined how significant that might be. There are certainly some consequences related to a fatigued pilot flying an aircraft. So we look at how we would perform. And again, we're performing according to the team checklist. And the M means to mitigate. How would we mitigate this? Well, we could mitigate it by maybe allowing the pilot to get a little bit of rest, maybe, allowing them a little bit of time to exercise, get their blood flowing again, drink some coffee, whatever the case might be, or we simply replace the pilot. So we mitigate the risk by either helping them become refreshed or we replace the pilot. So that's how the 3P process works in aeronautical decision making. And aeronautical decision making, also has three phases, if you will, right? Where you're going to do aeronautical decision making in pre-flight. That's when you do the 3P process and all this stuff like that. And then aeronautical decision making en route. So now that you're in the plane, you've you studied the weather before the flight and all this stuff. Now you're encountering real world conditions in the plane, and so now you have to have sort of en route aeronautical decision making. Does it make sense to go through this layer of clouds right here? And if I do, what would I do? What would I expect, right? So that would be a way to do some en route aeronautical decision making. Another option might be you get a traffic call, 226 Sierra Foxtrot traffic, your altitude merging within 10 miles, right? So in 10 miles, you have merging traffic at your altitude. What would you do, right? So this is en route decision making. What would you do? And you may take an affirmative action and say, ATC, I'm going to take immediate heading on, make immediate heading of 210 to avoid this traffic. Or they may give you a heading. But in any case, aeronautical decision making, pre-flight, en route, and finally the third phase is post-flight, right? Or after landing. What does that have to do with it? All the decisions have been made. I've already decided to fly. I flew the plane, landed the plane, put the plane up. And why would I have a third phase or post-flight aeronautical decision-making phase? Because now, this is how you gain experience as a pilot, right? And you compare and contrast the information that you learned before the flight, all your pre-flight planning and everything like that. You compared it to what actually happened in flight, so you can determine if the information sources that you're using are accurate and relevant. And also, you can determine that based upon certain circumstances, certain things might happen in flight. Now, I'm being very general and vague at this time because there's so many different opportunities on how you could use the en route phase to compare and develop the reliability of your pre-flight. But at the end of the day, perhaps you did some things in flight that worked out really well. Perhaps maybe there were some decisions that you made in flight that maybe were not so well done. So the third phase, or the post-flight phase, allows you to, in a calm setting somewhere when you are thinking about things and not being distracted en route or in preparation for a flight, you can evaluate the decisions that you made in flight, the information that you utilized, the tools and resources that you utilized, and determine how well the aeronautical decision making worked out for you that day. So again, you got pre-flight, en route, and then post-flight aeronautical decision making, very critical. And of these things, of course, the pre-flight phase is super important because you need to make a go, no-go decision based upon the 3P process, based upon the for-flight briefing that you received, and any other information sources that would help you make a go, no-go decision. So that's how the aeronautical decision-making process works and sort of how it flows, and some of the resources and tools such as the for-flight briefing that can be used along the way. One thing I want to talk about now is how professional pilots try to save the client money, okay? Obviously, the chief goal on any flight is to make the flight safe, efficient, and comfortable for the clients. That's really the goal. So again, we want to make the flight comfortable. We want to make the flight safe and efficient, and also cost-effective for the client. So what we want to do is try to save money in terms of fuel expenses or landing fees or airport fees along the way, and there are ways to do that. Now, we've departed Music City Executive Airport on a flight that was scheduled to be about 1 hour and 15 minutes. And we know that the flight requires about 96 gallons of fuel for the flight plus our taxi at both ends. Now we add a IFR fuel reserve to that. I like to use a minimum of 70 gallons of IFR fuel reserve. The regulatory requirements for Vision Jets probably somewhere about 55 gallons of fuel reserve, but I always like to have a little bit extra fuel. If weather at my destination is marginal VFR or IFR, in other words, relatively poor weather conditions, then I will try to bring on even more fuel
964 Charlie Mike, Atlanta Center. You here at the
as an IFR reserve if possible. Now there's a couple things we run into, right? So as a pilot, we have to calculate our ramp weight. In other words, as the airplane sits on the ramp, what is the weight?
And Delta
And
1815,
our maximum takeoff weight. In the Vision Jet, maximum takeoff weight is 6,000 pounds. That is the maximum gross takeoff weight.
November 3 Lima Golf, contact Atlanta.
The other thing we have to look at is, of course, landing weight.
2557, good day.
The Vision Jet has a maximum landing weight.
6 Sierra Foxtrot, contact Atlanta Center 125.57.
2557, 6 Sierra Foxtrot, have a great one.
Good morning, Atlanta Center. Pilatus 153 Lima Golf 270. Air 153 Lima Golf, Atlanta Garage, good morning.
Atlanta Center, Vision Jet 226 Sierra Foxtrot, flight level 310, good ride.
Vision 226 Sierra Foxtrot, Atlanta, good morning.
Alrighty. So yes, as I was saying, we have a maximum landing weight of 5,550 pounds. The aircraft should not ever be landed with a weight above 5,550 pounds. If you do, you need to perform a gear inspection and so forth. So we don't want to do that either. So we look at our fuel planning. In flight, again, the electronic flight bag that is great for fuel planning, pre-flight planning, getting a briefing, using it en route. It's such a great set of resources, and it does a very good job at calculating fuel requirements. It knows the fuel burn on each of these Vision Jets, and it has the ability to provide you really accurate fuel calculations. So again, we know the amount of fuel necessary for a trip. We know what sort of IFR fuel reserve we want to build into the trip. And then we know that we're capped off by never being able to land or take off above weight.
Good morning, Delta 690, 32.2, descending at
so another factor we look at is fuel prices per gallon. And in this case, Music City Executive Airport has some of the most economical fuel prices in the area. So what we do is we take that into consideration. Now, on the other hand, North Florida Beaches Airport, the fuel is more expensive. And in addition, at North Florida Beaches Airport, we will pay some airport fees and infrastructure fees for landing there. So there are ways to waive some of the fees when you land, and that is to take on a minimal amount of fuel. Now, the FBO down there at North Florida Beaches Airport is Shelter. I'm aware of the fact that they have an 80-gallon minimum fuel load to waive certain airport fees. So my objective, of course, is to take on no more than 80 gallons of fuel down there, because I want to be able to get back to Music City Executive with an IFR reserve up there. But I really would like to avoid paying higher fuel expenses in Florida, and as well as landing fees and airport fees. So what we did was we took off with about 226 gallons of fuel, That's going to have us landing with roughly 125 gallons of fuel.
809, last Roger.
Right now, our fuel over destination
512 Kilo Romeo 340.
is showing to be 140. So we're going to be actually landing with a little bit more fuel right now than planned. I might ask for an early descent so we can burn some of the fuel off, but it's not super critical. And then when I land at North Florida Beaches Airport, I'm going to take on the minimum fuel necessary to waive the fees, and that's 80 gallons. And then we hope to depart North Florida Beaches Airport with about 205 gallons of fuel, and that will have us landing in Music City Executive with about 76 gallons of fuel. So in other words, we figured out a way to take on the max amount of fuel that we can for this scenario at the least expensive place to get the fuel. We figured out what the fueling minimum is to waive the airport fees, which is 80 gallons down there. And so we're not paying for a full load of more expensive fuel. I hope that makes sense to you guys. So that's something we do. Now, of course, in order to do that, you have to plan out both flights right ahead of time. So that's why it's so critical that you have all the information related to the safe outcome of a flight, including all your pre-flight planning, including fuel requirements at both flights, so that you can have the information necessary to come up with a fuel strategy that's ultimately going to save the client some money. So anyway, appreciate you guys coming along. Thanks for letting me explain that to you guys. I'll shut the cameras off for now and pick things up as we get a little closer to North Florida Beaches Airport on this brand new Generation 2 Vision Jet. Thanks a lot for coming along.
60 Foxtrot, send to maintain, flight level 240.
What is there maintain, flight level 240, 60 Foxtrot. All right, everybody, back with you again. Got our initial descent started down to 240. Get the airplane flying with the auto throttle on in FMS mode.
For flight 808, contact Atlanta Center 134.5. 34.5, give a good morning.
Alrighty. So because of that, we don't have to really worry about overspeed, and hopefully the auto throttle is going to catch up here and slow us down a little bit. That's good. So we'll pay attention to speeds and all that.
There's 237 Tango Papa, contact Atlanta Center 132.25. 3225 Tango Papa.
Advise on initial contact, you have information Gulf. Panama City Tower, information Gulf. 13530, wind 3403, visibility 10, sky clear. Temperature 12, dew point 4, altimeter 3020. Expect the visual approach, landing and departing runway 34. Modems, runway 16 Pappy's out of service. Advise on initial contact,
All right.
you have information.
Good stuff. So we have information. Gulf winds are 340 at 3 knots. Light winds out of the northwest. Out of 290 to 240. And we'll hold the descent checklist at the altimeter transition. North Florida Beaches is advertising a barometer of 3020, so we got that set up in pre. Planning a visual approach for runway 34. Looks good.
Shannon, good morning. National 1644340, smooth.
Alrighty.
National 6044, last Roger.
Another thing I wanted to speak about in terms of saving clients money
Good morning, Atlanta.
and also saving you money potentially is if you fly an aircraft that burns Jet A fuel, because there are some piston airplanes that do burn Jet A fuel. You can take advantage.
2260 Foxtrot, contact Atlanta Center 128.02.
2802, 6 Sierra Foxtrot, have a great day. Atlanta Center, 226 Sierra Foxtrot out of 26.8, descending to 240.
Number 226 Sierra Foxtrot, Atlanta Center, roger.
Yes, as I was mentioning, if you fly an airplane that burns Jet A fuel, you can become a member of Corporate Aviation Association. Corporate Aviation Association, or CAA for short, is a fuel membership program. It costs about $500 a year to become a member, but if you are a member, you can take advantage of contract fuel prices for Jet A fuel across the country at hundreds of FBOs. So check out the CAA website. I think it's caa.org, and you can check out what they have going on. Again, a yearly membership is $500, and there is a trial. I think it's 60 or 90 days. I can't really remember because it's been a while since I signed up for a new account. But by having a CAA contract on your airplane for jet fuel, you can save money. Different FBOs across the country.
I'm sorry, say that again, please.
And if you fly a jet, you will often find that you will save that $500 membership
2 minutes or less, maintain followable
within the first 2 to 3 flights
out of 240, hurry on through
that you conduct in the plane by the savings of the jet fuel prices. So check out CAA and start saving some money today. Of course, this is a non-sponsored video. I just like to help people out and help them save some money whenever possible. So there are limitations, of course. If a plane is on a charter certificate, it cannot be on a CAA membership. And the other thing to keep in mind is the CAA membership is associated with a specific airplane and the tail number, not the pilot. In other words, the membership does not go from any plane that I fly. It's actually assigned specifically to a given tail number. And that's how CAA works. And but again, you'll find that you'll save quite a bit of money on fuel pricing across the country. And you simply go and patronize the FBOs across the country that have the CAA prices. Now, coincidentally, most of the top-level FBOs across the country have CAA contracts. So you're not only getting great prices, but you're going to great facilities, and definitely check that out. And, of course, one of the top facilities in the country that I like to patronize whenever going to the...
Number 226 Sierra Foxtrot, contact Jacksonville Center, 120.2.
20.2, 6 Sierra Foxtrot, have a great one.
Okay.
Jacksonville Center, VinJet 226 Sierra Foxtrot, flight level 240.
226 Sierra Foxtrot, Jacksonville, welcome.
Yeah, and so one of the FBOs I like to visit when I go to the high desert, Palm Springs, Thermal, California area is Desert Jet, and they got a really nice facility.
Number 6 Sierra Foxtrot, 120743.
0743 Sierra Foxtrot. Alrighty. So yeah, so Desert Jet in Thermal, California. The airport identifier is TRM. It's also coincidentally minus 114 feet below sea level, that airport. So you don't notice it necessarily when you go there, but when you look at your altitude as you're landing, it can be a negative number. So It's kind of an interesting thing. But anyway, Desert Jet Thermal Airport TRM is a great FBO, and they are
3667 Jackson and
they
welcome.
offer a CAA membership pricing. So there are other benefits with CAA, of course, rental cars and so forth like that. Negotiated rates for overnight stays and things like that. Anyway, check out CAA.org, and if it's fit for you, become a member. Thanks a lot.
Fly heading of 050 vector.
So currently we're about 95 miles north of North Florida Beaches Airport. We're leveled off here at flight level 240. And true airspeed is currently 307 knots with a ground speed of 337 knots. Again, this is a brand new Generation 2 Plus Vision Jet, and it's a really pretty airplane. Shelter, November 226, Sierra Foxtrot.
226 Sierra Foxtrot, go ahead for Panama City, Shelter.
Yes, sir. We'll be on the ground with you in about 15 minutes, and our next departure would be about 11:30. And picking up 5 when
Cruise 81, contact single approach 125.2 or 392.1. Good day.
125.2, Blues 81, see ya.
6 Sierra Foxtrot, set to maintain flight level 200.
Roughly 11:30, taking 40 aside, Jet A.
Hey, we'll see you in a bit. Thanks.
Yes, sir. Have a safe landing. See you shortly.
North 226 Sierra Foxtrot, to set to maintain flight level 200.
We'll just set to maintain flight level 220, Sierra Foxtrot.
6 Sierra Foxtrot, flight level 200, 20.
I thought I said that. 200, Sierra Foxtrot. One thing that you identify when you do your pre-flight planning for a flight like this. I've been in and out of North Florida Beaches Airport a bunch of times, and I like the airport a whole lot. About ready to level off at 200. But what you will see is that there are a lot of special use airspace areas along the route here, both to the east and west of our flight plan route. There are also several military installations around, in addition to potential for high-speed jet training areas. So you definitely have to be on your toes.
November 6 Sierra Foxtrot, to set to maintain 1000, crest altimeter 3023.
3023 down to 11,000, 6 Sierra Foxtrot. 11,000. All right, yeah, looks like about 10 minutes en route remaining on this flight. Should be landing with about 135 gallons. Before flight predicted we'd land with about 125 gallons, so we'll see how that plays out. Normally it's within about 5 gallons. Approaching transition altitude. All right, seats are good, brake pressure is good. Approach has been briefed. We're going to do a visual approach. Across the 2-mile final at about 1,113 feet. MSL. Seats are upright. Eyes protection not required. Lights will be as required. And pending flaps. So, since most of my flights that I videotape for the channel are in a Generation 1 Vision Jet, again, this is the first time I've been filming in a client's plane. You may not be accustomed to the nature of the way the auto-throttle works in the Vision Jet. I probably never explained it, but essentially You can use the auto throttle, and there are two modes. One goes off the flight management system or the FMS, or the other is basically manual. So you can override the FMS speeds and fly at manual speeds if you want. The only requirement, of course, in terms of use of the auto throttle is that the autopilot has to be on to use the auto throttle. As soon as you disconnect the autopilot, you have no more auto throttle capability in this jet, so you have to keep in mind that once you come off of auto
Number 6 here, Foxtrot, contact Karen's approach 133.75.
3375, Sierra Foxtrot. Have a good one.
Jackson, hello, China 150, Tango Kilo, kilometer 6.
Good morning, approach Vision Jet 226 Sierra Foxtrot. We're just at 15,000, 11,000.
All right, 226 Sierra Foxtrot, Karen's approach, altimeter 3021, descend to maintain 8,000.
All right, 3021 down to 8,000, 6 Sierra Foxtrot. So again, if you disconnect disconnect the autopilot, you lose the auto throttle, so it'll be up to you to control the speed.
3550 Lima, contact Jacksonville Center 13445.
So and then on GTC2, which is this middle touchscreen here, you can go into the flight plan and then go to VNAV, and you can customize the FMS profiles for speeds. I happen to like the way that this one's set up. It's set up with a 3-degree glide path angle. That's nice. All these settings are really nice. So essentially you can basically set a profile for speeds. Obviously, as everybody knows, below 10,000 feet, anywhere in FAA airspace, you need to be below 250 knots of indicated airspeed. That happens to be the maximum airspeed for this airplane. So Vision jets don't often exceed the maximum airspeed below 10,000 feet because that is the maximum airspeed for the plane that is allowed.
Number 226 Sierra Foxtrot, contact 10 approach 125.2.
25.2, Sierra Foxtrot, have a good one. All right, I'm going to go to manual because I need to slow down.
Southwest 3667, roger, descend and maintain 5,000.
5,000 now, South 3667.
Tyndall approach, Vision Jet 226 Sierra Foxtrot. We're out of 11,000 for 8,000, information golf.
Delta 2315, tunnel departure, ident, climb maintain flight level 230.
Tyndall approach, Vision Jet 226 Sierra Foxtrot. 11.3 for 8,000, information golf.
November 226 Sierra Foxtrot, tunnel approach. Verify information India, expect the visual approach runway 34, turn left heading 160.
Left turn 160, we'll pick up India for runway 34, the visual. 6 Sierra Foxtrot. Tyndall approach, 226 Sierra Foxtrot has information India.
6 Sierra Foxtrot, roger.
And we also have the field.
6 Sierra Foxtrot, roger. I'm pretty sure you're number 3 in the sequence at the moment. Stand by for arrival.
Right.
November 0 Lima Lima, turn left heading 210, and contact Panama City arrival 120.82.
210 and 2082 Lima Lima. Spot.
Next one ought to be 25-2.
Delta 2315, turn right heading 360. Stand by for wiregrass.
Right turn 360, Delta 2315.
Vision Jet 6 Sierra Foxtrot, descend and maintain 6,000.
We'll descend and maintain 6,000, 6 Sierra Foxtrot.
November 60 Foxtrot, contact Panama City, arrival 120.82.
20.82, Sierra Foxtrot, have a great day.
Delta 23.
13. Air Shuttle 6013, radar contact 2 miles north of Panama City Airport. Air Shuttle 6013, contact approach 125.2. 25-2, Air Shuttle 6013. Southwest 3667, turn right heading 180, Panama City Airport, and roll out 2 to 3 o'clock, 7 miles.
Okay, 1 unit heading and airport in sight, Southwest 3667.
Southwest 3667, cleared visual approach runway 34, contact Panama City Tower 118.905.
1895, clear to visual 34, Southwest 3667.
Panama City arrivals 2260 Foxtrot, 7.1 descending to 6,000. Information for the field visual.
November 2260 Foxtrot Tyndall approach, descend and maintain 4,000.
Descend and maintain 4,000, Sierra Foxtrot.
November 0 Lima Lima, 1 able reduce speed, maintain 210 knots or slower for spacing. Turn right heading 250.
Right, 250, 210 or slower, Lima Lima.
Looks good. All right. All right, so by now, it wasn't captured on film, but we did the
November 0
NART
Lima Lima, maintain
pre-arrival
4,000.
items where we looked at NOTAMs for the field, we looked at airport information, we reviewed all the runway information for runway 34.
To the field following a Boeing 737
and then
10 miles
we reviewed the
west of
taxi
your
instructions.
position,
So we're all set for the arrival here. We're sort of in a wide right downwind for runway 34 into Panama City. Have the airport right over there.
November 60 Foxtrot, traffic to follow 2 o'clock, 8 miles northbound, citation leaving 3,000.
We have a TCAS, try to pick them up, Sierra Foxtrot.
November 60 Foxtrot, roger, turn right heading 190.
Right turn to 190, Sierra Foxtrot. Alrighty.
November 60 Foxtrot, traffic's now 3 o'clock, 8 miles northbound, citation leaving 2,400. Descend and maintain 2,000.
Traffic in sight, down to 2,000, 2260 Foxtrot.
November 60 Foxtrot, roger, cleared visual approach runway 34, contact Panama City Tower 118.905.
Clear visual 34 over to Tower, okay, 1. 2260 Foxtrot.
Southwest 3667, ground point 65.
5, 3667.
Panama City Tower, Vision Jet 2260 Foxtrot, and a wide right base for runway 34.
Vision Jet 2260 Fox, Panama City Tower, following citation 680 on a 3 mile straight in 34. Cleared to land, you can proceed straight to the runway if you'd like, or base to final, your choice.
All right, approach our discretion, and number 2 for the field, clear to land, runway 34, 2260 Foxtrot. Let's go there, and down to 1113. There's speed checks, gear coming down. Alright, 3 grain pressurization is good. Pending flaps full.
Number 9, Sierra Pop, go ahead and go to midfield for your next 360. You're getting kind of north of the departure end.
Roger that. We'll start the next 360 at midfield. 9 Sierra Pop.
Thanks for your help.
Alrighty.
At 5 Lima Hotel, Sherman Base for taxiway Delta. Ready for takeoff, runway 34. Tower 5 Lima Hotel, return to base for taxiway Delta.
Number 5 Lima Yankee was hotel. I was on a line with another aircraft or agency. 34, correction, over Delta, north of Sierra, clear for low approach.
Alright, glide pass alive.
Roger that. Sorry about that. 5 Lima Hotel, clear for low approach, taxiway Delta.
Looks good. Go to flight idle, try to get this to about 114 or so. Looks good.
Panama City Tower, Traveler,
Flaps going full.
ready for takeoff, 34.
We're 60 Foxtrot, clear to land 34.
Clear land 34, Sierra Foxtrot.
Additional aircraft calling taken.
Traveler 905 Yankee, we're ready for takeoff, runway 34 when available.
Traveler 95 Yankee landing traffic, hold short 34.
Hold short, 34, 905 Yankee.
$500.
All right, one more check. 3 green, pressurization is good, fully configured, clear to land, lane lights on.
Tower 659 Sierra Papa is reestablished. Right
Runway
midfield downwind
34.
with the final traffic in sight.
Number 9 Sierra Papa, say type landing.
Touching go.
Number 9 Sierra Papa, make another left 360 for departures.
Left 360, 9 Sierra Papa.
Minimums.
All right, transition visual. Yacht amps away.
Number 60 Foxtrot, turn left, taxiway Papa ground, 0.65.
Left on Pablo, talk to ground, thanks. 226 Sierra Foxtrot.
5 Lima Hotel, midfield left downwind, taxiway Delta.
5 Lima Hotel, clear for low approach over Delta north of Sierra, left traffic.
Clear low approach, 5 Lima Hotel.
Number 95 Yankee, wind 050 at 6, turn right heading 040, maintain 5,000 runway.
If you need a pilot or support for your SF-50 Vision Jet, give us a call at 615-543-8553 or check us out online at www.sf50flightsupport.com.
All right, appreciate you guys coming along on this video, and unfortunately I won't be able to film the return flight, but at least got you guys in a brand new Generation 2 Vision Jet, and just landed here at North Florida Beaches Airport. And appreciate you guys coming. Thanks. Until next time, safe flying, and we'll see you on the next video.
Clearance citation 553.